there you are. Good to see you.
Ja, moin.
Your appointment with Sangonomiya is fast approaching. We should get going. Are you ready? We'll start by heading to the camp on Watatsumi Island, and then we'll go meet Her Excellency together from there. If you start to feel seasick at any point during the trip, let me know straight away. That said, you've spent time with the Crux fleet in the past, so I think you'll probably be fine.
Ja, denke ich auch. So ein bisschen rumfahren mit dem Boot, das schaffen wir.
Ready? And away we go.
Na, wir fahren jetzt quasi zum anderen Lager der Widerstandsarmee. Wir kennen ja das eine mit Gorou, mit dem süßen Dude. Und jetzt fahren wir da hinten hin. Eine der neuen Inseln, die mit dem Update dazugekommen ist. Es gibt, glaube ich, 2 neue Inseln, die dazugekommen sind. Und einiges menütechnisch wurde verbessert. Ihr habt ja eben beim Dialog gesehen, das automatische Abspielen, da ist jetzt so ein gelber Kreis drum. Ja, und auch andere paar Sachen wurden ein bisschen verbessert. Ich weiß nicht warum, aber mein Boot, wenn ich fahre, hat immer einen Linksdrall. Vielleicht liegt das auch einfach nur am Controller. Who knows? Oben links auf der Karte seht ihr, wir fahren ins Unbekannte. Ich glaube, ich muss hier links an der Insel vorbei. Damn. Da hinten sehe ich schon die Statue, die ich wahrscheinlich anfassen will. Hier sind so Tore und so Sachen und alles und... Das erkunden wir alles dann, ne? Das sieht aus wie ein Wasserfall. Kann unser Boot Wasserfälle runterfahren? Anscheinend nicht, nein. Dann fliegen wir den Rest. Beziehungsweise wir gehen einfach über die Brücken hier links. Warum fliegen hier Quallen? Es ist alles weird. Ah, hier ist ein Teleporter. Ich wusste nicht, dass die angezeigt werden. Neuerdings. Ja, aber ist gar nicht schlecht, wenn wir hier einen haben. Ah, hier fängt es anscheinend schon an. Ja, hier stehen schon die Leute. Guten Tag. Mirai. Hier gibt es auch überall Aufträge. Hier ist das Dorf. Ich klau kurz euer Essen. Na? Habt ihr bestimmt nichts gegen.
Time to go.
Ah, und hier ist das Lager.
Here we are. The training grounds for Watatsumi Island's troops. Right now, the resistance is predominantly made up of local soldiers from Watatsumi Island. Some of them are fighting with the Shogun's army in Tatarasuna, and some of them are stationed here on the island to keep the locals safe.
Did you used to train here too?
Yep. Unfortunately, I had to join the fight in Tatarasuna before I'd had the chance to impress the instructors, so they had me start off by helping in the logistics division.
Ja, okay.
I'll be staying here for now. If you need me for anything, just come here. If I'm not
Okay.
around, just write a note and stick it on the wall. As soon as I see it, I'll come find you. Shoot! It's nearly time for the appointment with Her Excellency. I'll have to show you around Watatsumi Island some other time. For now, let's get ourselves over to Sangonomiya.
Okay, auf geht's. Ich mag Sangonomiya gar nicht so krass.
So, Sangonomiya is the name of the place where Sangonomiya Kokomi lives? Huh. Let's go check it out.
Ich fand Gorou ja immer cooler. Aber hey, warum nicht? I guess hier unten lang? Ach, ich weiß es doch auch nicht. Sieht auf jeden Fall schön aus hier, tatsächlich. Perlen. Und hier gibt es auch wieder sehr viele Elektrokulus. Na, die brauchen wir ja auch noch für unsere Statue. Ach so, die hat hier oben einen random Palast einfach stehen. Mit Fischen? Oh.
Food supplies are the absolute top priority, period. We cannot afford any losses. With the conflict between us and the Shogun's army getting more intense by the day, we must prioritize the stability of the rear guard.
Understood. I will think of a way.
Brav, Daisuke.
Take heart. We have a fresh batch of supplies in hand, and I'm working on expanding the army. I appreciate that the lack of manpower has been hard on all of you, but things are going to get better.
We're expanding the army? Oh, that's great. Whoever this mystery supporter is, they're doing us a great service.
Das bin ich, oder?
Huh? Teppei, what are you doing back on Watatsumi Island?
Moin, Teppei.
Might I ask who?
Who? Mate, also, Kollege, mich muss er doch kennen.
VIP guests of Her Excellency, that's who. I'm acting under orders to escort them both here.
Oh, really? Wait, so are you the new recruit everyone's been talking about? Strength of 20 men, splits an arrow in twain from 100 paces, skin as hard as diamond. That's you?
Quasi, ja. Die Übersetzung hat zwar nicht das gesagt, was er gesagt hat, aber grob ja.
Seriously? What is going on with these rumors?
Ja, Teppei.
You've come a long way. I'm sure you must be here on pressing business, so I won't disturb you any further. Feel free to visit me if you have any time to spare.
Warum soll ich dich besuchen? Was will ich von dir?
Your Excellency, I'll take my leave.
Your Excellency, I couldn't help but overhear Okubo mention something about a third-party supporter? What was that about?
Not long ago, someone wrote to me saying that they wish to support the Watatsumi Island resistance effort. To that end, they also furnished us with a great deal of supplies.
Okay, wer, den wir kennen, hat Interesse daran und die Mittel. Möglicherweise ein Fatui. Ich hätte jetzt noch auch an John Lee gedacht, aber der hat ja kein Geld mehr, der ist ja arm. Mal gucken.
Thanks to them, we can finally start recruiting troops on the scale we need to openly confront the Shogun's army on the front line.
Ach wirklich? Und wer ist denn dieser nette Herr?
I am not without my doubts. But Watatsumi Island is hardly affluent, and these supplies are a much-needed lifeline for us. The sender's conditions were also reasonable. They simply ask us to dedicate ourselves fully to fighting against the Shogun's army.
Okay, also die haben Interesse daran, den Shogun zu stürzen. Oder nicht zu stürzen, aber zumindest zu nerven. Also Fatui könnten es noch sein.
Whatever other motives they may have, we are at least aligned on this. So let's consider them an anonymous ally. Naturally, we shouldn't let our guard down. If you discover anything out of the ordinary, please report it to me at once.
Your Excellency, does this mean that the food at the front line is gonna get any better? I was at the field hospital the other day, and everyone was begging for some barbecued meat.
Don't worry. I've already made arrangements for that. Everyone will have their fill of meat. But to be clear, still no alcohol.
Okay, Alkohol ist verboten, also kann Venti nicht der Geldgeber sein.
That's fantastic.
I understand how hard it's been on everyone. The Resistance Army's rations have barely changed at all since the Vision Hunt decree was first announced. I will discuss this with the Logistics Division to see what further improvements can be made. However, our supplies are still limited. I must ask you to remain patient until victory is ours. When will the Vision Hunt decree finally end? That's the question. And I'm afraid I don't have an answer. The mere existence of the Vision Hunt decree is baffling. The Tenryou Commission's attitude just doesn't seem to add up. And neither does the Shogun's. The Tenryou Commission's zealous support for the decree seemed to come out of nowhere, and the Shogun seems completely indifferent to the fact that it has effectively caused a civil war.
Ja, weil wir ja noch vermuten, dass der Shogun selber gar keine Vision mehr hat. Beziehungsweise sein... Ach, wie heißt das denn? Also sein Auge, aber bei dem... Die Gnosis. Ja.
I suspect the Vision Hunt decree won't end until these mysteries are solved. All I can say for certain is that as long as the Vision Hunt decree remains in force, we will never give up our fight.
Also wahrscheinlich stecken da immer noch die Fatui hinter, die ja die Gnosis einsammeln.
Traveler, to confirm, knowing the current situation facing Watatsumi Island and the Resistance, are you still willing to fight with us?
Ja sicher, ich hau den einfach aufs Maul. Wo ist das Problem?
Good. Then here is your assignment. I hereby appoint you as captain of the Watatsumi Island Special Operations Unit, Swordfish 2.
Ja, warte. Ich werde Truppenführer von Schwertfisch 2. Er ist zwar ein Spezialteam, aber das zweite, warum nicht das erste? Ich finde, dafür bin ich stark genug, aber gut.
Whoa, what? Swordfish 2? Is this the same Swordfish Special Ops unit that I'm thinking of? It's hard enough getting into a Special Ops unit at the bottom rung, let alone jumping to captain in one fell swoop. This is incredible.
Das denke ich mir auch. Du wirst einfach zu so einer Spezialeinheit, ohne Training oder irgendwas, ohne sich hochzuarbeiten und auch noch der Truppenführer. Da werden einige nicht mit glücklich sein.
Although this appointment breaks with convention, I firmly believe that with your wisdom, courage, and strength, you can lead your team to victory.
Great! So when do we take up our post?
The members of Swordfish 2 are currently on standby in a valley to the southwest. Ronin have been causing trouble down there lately, and we need a special operations unit to eliminate them and stabilize the rear guard. I have already written your appointment letter, which you'll need to show them on arrival. Once that's out of the way, please lead them in ridding the area of Ronin. The Special Ops unit comprises Watatsumi Island's elite soldiers. They can be a little rough around the edges, but I have every confidence that you will win their trust.
Quasi wie jede Spezialeinheit. Die sind alle ein bisschen verwirrt.
What about me, Your Excellency? Any battles you need me to get involved in?
Nein, Teppei, geh zurück in dein Lager.
I want to make a contribution to the resistance too.
Of course. I'll arrange something and brief you shortly.
All right! One successful operation coming right up! You may have swiped the captaincy of Swordfish 2, but watch this space, because this guy's on his way up!
Okay, sure. Well, be careful out there. Don't push yourself too hard. Well, Traveler, let's move out.
Okay, auf zum Lager, nachdem wir den Elektrokulus hier geklaut haben. Bong. Hier gibt es ja relativ viel Stuff sogar. Naja. Guten Morgen, Spezialeinheiten. Stellvertretender Truppenführer, ja. Bin ich jetzt. Ich bin jetzt der Truppenführer.
Ah, you must be the new captain of Swordfish 2. Her Excellency briefed us in advance. Your reputation precedes you, and the appointment letter is all in order. But I still have my doubts.
About what?
I'll be straight with you. I want to know whether you have what it takes to lead us.
Ach so.
You mean, like, a duel?
Normally, a duel would be the quickest way to settle the question. But this time, we've got a better way.
Okay, kein
We're
Duell.
stationed here because of all the Ronin causing trouble in these parts. If you can get rid of them for us, we'll take that as a measure of your strength.
Ja, safe. Die mache ich easy platt.
All right, let's show 'em what you're made of.
Ja, man hätte auch eine Brücke nehmen können, aber hey. Die können gar nichts.
Okay, seems like you can hold your own. The rumors are exaggerations, of course, but still, your abilities are admirable. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Kotoku, acting captain of Swordfish 2. This is Yoshihisa, a fellow veteran of the team. I now formally cede the position of captain to you. Swordfish 2 awaits your orders.
Gibt es doch noch andere wandernde Samurai, die wir wegknechten können? Ich wäre dabei.
There are 2 hard-hit areas. This was one of them, but thanks to you, this area is now secure. Their only remaining stronghold is located at the shallows on the east side of the island. That said, the ones over there are tougher, and there's more of them.
Ja, ich würde sagen, auf geht's.
You got that right. Watatsumi Island is busy fighting the Shogun's army on the front line. We can't let these guys mess up things at the rear.
Rear. Wäre cool, wenn ich meine Armee auch irgendwie befehligen könnte, aber anscheinend bin ich einfach meine Armee wie immer.
There's so many of them.
That's not even all of them. They have 2 more camps nearby. Whichever camp we attack, it's the Ronin in the other 2 camps that'll cause us issues. They might decide to provide backup or abandon them and escape on their own.
Dann greifen wir alles gleichzeitig an.
But Captain, that would put you in great danger. If we spread our troops too thin, we won't have enough men to guard you. It's too risky.
Ja, kein Ding, ich kann das schon.
Yep, the Traveler eats amateurs like these for breakfast.
All right then. We'll deal with them all in one go and rendezvous with you on completion.
Guten Abend. Wo sind die denn stärker als die davor? Autsch, ja, der tat weh. Können Sie das bitte lassen? Es tut weh.
Psych!
You did.
That should be the last of them. You didn't get hurt, did you?
Nein! Ich habe ein Schwert, das aus meiner Brust kommt.
Paimon wonders how everything is going with Kotoku and Yoshihisa. Should we go over and check on them?
Captain!
Ja, bitte.
Captain, the other two camps have been cleared. The entire rearguard of Watatsumi Island is now secure.
Danke.
Great! We solved the Ronin problem and got everyone to look up to us, too. But what's next? Let's go back and check with Kokomi.
Finally, we got it done. These Ronin have been bugging me for ages, but Kotoku wouldn't let us at him until now.
What? No way could you have taken them down without the new captain here. I was putting the safety of the team first. Got it?
Naja, es waren 3 Camps, die haben 2 davon alleine gemacht. Das hätten die, glaube ich, geschafft, auch ohne uns.
Oh, come on. You were just being a coward.
Hey, cut the attitude! These guys, honestly. Forget them. Let's go.
Moin!
How was it? Did your initiation go smoothly?
Ja, war nur ein kleiner Test, aber an sich war okay. War okay.
Yes, that's standard for the team. But with your level of ability, I'm sure it was a walk in the park. Since you're back, I take it that the Ronin are now gone from Watatsumi Island?
You bet! We sure showed them who's boss!
Mhm.
Good. Now we just need to make sure Okubo keeps a close watch to prevent their resurgence. Thank you. I believe in rewarding merit, so you will be compensated for your hard work. Let me see. Too soon for another promotion, I think.
Promotion zu was denn? Truppenführer von Schwertfisch 1?
I gave him an assignment.
Wo ist
He's
Teppei?
taking part in a surprise attack against the Shogun's navy. He expressed a desire to be on the front line, so I honored his wishes.
Seeschlacht?
Now, speaking of assignments, I have a special mission I'd like to give you.
A special mission?
Yes. In between Watatsumi Island and Tarasuna, there are some ruins relating to a god who fell in the Archon War. There are several small islands there, often used as a transit point when transporting supplies.
Welcher Gott ist denn gefallen während des Archonkriegs? Relativ viele. Vielleicht der Dendro? Der Grasgott quasi?
Recently, however, supplies stored there have started to go missing for no obvious reason. Stranger still, the Resistance army passed by and reported they found no signs of danger. I'd like to task you with getting to the bottom of this. It's not urgent, so there is no need to leave immediately. I suggest you take a few days to familiarize yourselves with the army, and also with Watatsumi Island. When Teppei returns, you can catch up with him. Then pick a day when the weather's good to set sail for the islands.
Is Teppei really gonna be okay? He has a tendency to dive into action without thinking things through. Oh, Paimon can't help but feel a little worried about him. Oh, why don't we go wait for him at the training grounds?
Long time no see.
Okay, das ging alles sehr schnell. Also ich habe einige Zeit nichts von den Schwertfischleuten gehört. Glaube ich. Stand da.
So, how's Swordfish 2 treating you? Getting along okay with everyone?
Na, es ist gewöhnungsbedürftig, aber die sind okay.
Well, you're in luck, because this seasoned veteran's got a few leadership tips for you. Raising their pay will boost morale, while giving them a few bounties will act as an incentive to go the extra mile. It's also important to maintain strict discipline at all times, and finally... wait. What was it? What was it?
Wow, where'd you learn all that, Teppei?
I read it in a novel from the Publishing House. It was a long time ago. You wouldn't believe how many dongo it took to convince my friend to let me borrow it.
You're seriously gonna use a novel to tell people how to run an army? Pretty sure that's called being an armchair general.
Ha ha! That's where you underestimate me. That's right. I'm learning military management on the job now. Just like you.
Was? Du bist ein Truppenführer, Teppei.
You'd better believe it. Thanks to my outstanding achievements in the recent naval battle, I have officially been made the captain of my very own Special Operations Unit.
Herzlichen Glückwunsch, Teppei.
It's a brand new unit, Herring 1. What do you think? Pretty awesome, right?
Naja, hört sich nach einem Fisch an, ne? Wie, also...
I spoke to Her Excellency, and she says our uniforms are in production. Let's go collect them together once they're ready. I can't wait to put them on. We're really gonna look the part. Ah, everything's going great. Our mystery sponsor supplies have really helped turn things around.
Will Paimon get a uniform too?
Nein.
Of course. You're a recognized member of the Watatsumi Island Resistance.
No. Ich will Paimon nichts geben.
Captain, a new assignment has come in.
Thank you, soldier. I'll be there on the double. All right, I better go. See you again soon. You'd better watch out, partner. At the rate I'm going, I'll overtake you if you're not careful.
Ja, nee, glaube ich nicht. Ich trete dich einfach weg, Kollege. Du hast doch nicht mal ein göttliches Auge.
In your dreams, mister.
Und ich habe quasi 3.
I wouldn't be so confident if I were you. I'm at the top of my game right now. This is my time to shine.
Paimon's so surprised that Teppei's been made a platoon captain. He must have been working super hard. Let's take a break, then go check out these Archon War ruins.
Okay. Ah, die Ruinen, die kennen wir ja schon. Sind ja alte Bekannte. Ich finde, hier fehlt noch ein Teleporter, so. Also, keine Ahnung.
Empty chest. Good for storage.
Seit wann haben die Voicelines für Kisten? Lol. Sag mal, gab es die Insel nicht vorher schon? Warum habe ich hier nichts gemacht?
Should be the place. But Sangonomiya was right. It doesn't look like anything suspicious is going on. Could they be hiding? Let's see what we can find.
Razor, your time to
These
shine.
monuments look a little suspicious.
Take this! Here!
Das heißt, den...
Lightning flash! Following thunder! Take this!
Yikes! A huge launch drill! Was it
Ja,
thrown out by the
musste einfach nur schnell genug sein. Jetzt habe ich meinen Schinki schon nicht dabei. Das ist nicht gut. Mein halbes Team besteht jetzt aus Elektro. Geil. Na, aber Shongyung macht seinen Job. Nice.
Glad that's over. As monsters go, that one was pretty tough. But what's such a huge Thunderhelm Lodge Drill doing here in the first place?
Die Frage ist, wie hätte ich das denn sonst machen sollen? Ich meine, nicht jeder hat Fische. Das hätte ja irgendwie mit dem Traveler gehen müssen. Naja.
It doesn't make any sense. Also, the atmosphere here gives Paimon the creeps. Anyway, the good thing is that it's over now. We should probably get going. Teppei, what are you doing here?
Echt mal, warum? Teppei, was willst du hier? Geh bitte weg.
Wow, this is a surprise. I didn't know you were the ones investigating here. I just got back from delivering some supplies to the front line. I figured I'd stop by and clear any threats in this area on the way back.
Warum hustest du, Teppei? Was tust du?
Are you alright there, buddy? You're looking slightly the worse for wear.
I'm fine. It's nothing. I must have caught a cold a couple of days ago while I was out at sea.
Excuse me? Ich habe Misch erkältet? Misch? Ach, du Kacke. Naja.
On my way past, I heard that someone had just arrived on the island to investigate, so I thought I'd come and take a look. If there'd been some real danger, I might have had the chance to be the hero. Shame it was just you guys. I guess I came here for nothing.
Teppei, don't you think there's something strange about this place?
Now that you mention it, there is something a little off about it. It could be that the Tatarigami is more palpable here, I guess. We're not that far away from Orobashi's remains.
Wer ist denn Orobashi?
Urabashi? Who's that?
A god. Look, there's the corpse over there.
Ah! It's a gigantic snake skeleton!
Ah.
It looks terrifying!
Orobashi was the one who brought our ancestors from Sangonomiya up to the surface. That's the origin of the Watatsumi Island you know today. Our ancestors regarded it as a guardian deity. But during the Archon War, Orobashi invaded Yashiori Island. The Raiden Shogun came out in person and slew Orobashi with the Muso no Hitotachi. That same slash also formed what later became known as Musojin Gorge.
Okay, das war also nicht der Elektro-Archon, das war irgendein Schlangentyp. Also wahrscheinlich doch der Dendro-Archon?
The Raiden Shogun created Musojin Gorge in one slash? Wow, that's pretty incredible!
Yes, but the Archon War was brutal. And Yashiori Island was completely destroyed during that battle. They say the Shogun lost something very dear to her along the way, too. Since Orobashi's death, there has always been some animosity between Watatsumi Island and the Shogunate, but our different beliefs have nothing to do with why the resistance was formed. We only rose up to fight against the Vision Hunt Decree. When Orobashi attacked civilization, the Shogun stood up and put a stop to it. But now that the Shogun is stripping people of their ambitions with the Vision Hunt Decree, it's time for someone to stand up and stop the Shogun.
Ja, vielleicht sollten wir eine neue Schlange finden.
Alright, I'm heading back. I was just dealing with some of the Shogun's elite samurai, so I think I'm gonna take a quick breather, and it's on to my next assignment.
Ja, Teppei ist ein bisschen komisch heute.
You should report back to Sangonomiya as soon as possible. Don't stay here longer than you need to. Being around the Tatarigami too long won't do your health any good.
Ja, du auch.
Hey, don't worry about me. Peak condition.
Mhm, P-Condition. Topform, natürlich. Ist klar, Teppei.
Teppei's sure made some big progress if he's already dealing with Shogunate samurai. Paimon can hardly believe it. Let's report back to Kokomi.
Ja, weil Teppei das wahrscheinlich auch gar nicht tut. Der labert nur. Teppei ist nur am Labern. Es ist Gorou. Mein bester Freund.
Kokomi, we're back! Oh, look, Gorou's here too!
Hi, Gorou.
What happened? They look so serious.
Approximately how many people are exhibiting these symptoms?
I haven't had the chance to do a full count yet.
Kokomi, Gorou, what's going on?
Recently, some of our soldiers started showing symptoms of accelerated aging. I called them in for questioning and found out they'd privately acquired some secret weapons from our sponsor.
Secret Weapons, maybe. Maybe das Ding, was Schalde ja auch benutzt. Die. Ach, wie heißt das denn? Nicht seine komische Spezialfähigkeit hat ihn halt verwandelt. Nicht, ach egal.
Most of them are highly ambitious types, vehemently opposed to the Vision Hunt Decree. They've been using these new weapons secretly since getting a hold of them.
So that's why the war has been going unusually well. But risky secret weapons are not the answer. We must put a stop to it immediately.
Also doch, Fatui.
Gorou, have you managed to acquire one of these weapons?
Well, most of the officers refuse to hand them over. Still, I did manage to get one.
Das ist, also kennen wir es schon,
Do you know something about this?
das teuflische Auge der Fatui.
So that means our secret sponsor is the Fatui?
Yay, ich
But
hatte
why would
recht.
the Fatui do this? Forget that. There's no time. Right now, we need to inform the whole army to cease using their delusions immediately. All
Delusions.
soldiers who have shown symptoms are to be taken for treatment. I just hope we'll be in time to save them.
Ich meine, können halt nicht alle in den Schalde sein, ne?
Wait a second. Speaking of soldiers with symptoms,
Teppei.
no! Surely he can't have... let's go check on him.
Stupid Teppei. Come on. Hi, Gorou.
Gorou, let's go to the resistance camp ourselves. The use of delusions has to stop right away.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Pat, pat. Braves Guru. Teppei, was machst du für Scheiße? Wo bist du? Finde Teppei. Ich dachte, er steht hier einfach. Hat er sich irgendwie hier unten versteckt? Oder ist das Teppei? Nee, das ist Raku. Teppei, where are you? Teppi, Teppi, Teppei. Ich habe keine Ahnung, wo er jetzt war, aber gut.
Oh,
Ah, da!
hey guys. What are you doing here? Just a moment. Let me get up.
Teppei,
It's weird.
warum tust du
I
das?
don't know. Oh, right. Yeah. I haven't had time to give you the full details. Well, I made a lot of great contributions to the war effort lately. Fighting the Shogun's army at sea, taking on Shogunate samurai all by myself, rescuing my comrades from an ambush. Things I never would have dreamed I could do when you first met me. If only I were stronger still. The stronger I am, the more I can do for the resistance. Wait a sec. Where's my secret weapon gone?
Seit wann benutzt du die Teppei?
It wasn't long after you were made captain of Swordfish 2. I met these mysterious people. Said they were with our supporters. They gave it to me and said that as long as I have the will to become stronger, this secret weapon will answer my call. It's just like a vision, isn't it? Of course, I've never used a vision, so I wouldn't know the difference.
Naja, es ist quasi genau das Gegenteil davon, aber ja.
Delusion. Oh God. Doesn't sound very good. So, what's the difference between a delusion and a vision?
Naja. Das teuflische Auge, das klaut dir das Leben. Außer du hast Schalde irgendwie. Warum auch immer, weil er krass ist. Weil er hat ein göttliches Auge zusätzlich. Vielleicht cancelt sich das so ein bisschen aus.
Gosh. Well, I suppose it's not too surprising that a mysterious weapon of unknown origins would come with its risks. I've been getting more and more tired over the past few days, and I have this strange sense of dread. At first, I'd find I was a little more beat than usual after a battle. Didn't think anything of it. But today, I got back and suddenly my vision was going blurry. This is a real shame. There I was, thinking I was catching up with you. Guess I didn't receive the favor of the gods after all.
Na, das ist, nein. Das kommt nicht von den Göttern. Definitiv nicht.
Hey, would you do something for me? When our uniforms are ready, grab mine for me. Bring it back here, and we can change together. What's that look for? Don't worry, partner. As soon as I've rested up, I'll be right as rain. Right as rain, I tell you. As soon as I've rested up.
Mhm. Die Fatui.
Hey, where are you going? Hey!
Ich gehe jetzt ein paar Fatui schlagen. Oh. Hi, Gorou. Und du andere doofe Kuh.
How's Teppei's condition?
Hat sich sehr verschlechtert.
I have put out the order to seize all delusions. The vast majority are showing some loss of vitality, but nothing serious. Sadly, a few have been less fortunate.
Your Excellency, I'm planning to establish a dedicated field hospital to monitor their condition. The soldiers are up in arms about the ban, though. They know full well what a delusion is, but they still intend to keep using them.
Okay, I'll leave you to deal with the situation. I have to get to the front line. This whole fiasco is certain to be a blow to morale. If the Shogun's army attacks now while we're scrambling to recover, it could well undo everything we have achieved so far. What are your thoughts?
Ich werde den Fatui auf die Fresse hauen. Ja, ganz einfach.
No, it's too dangerous. The Sakoku decree is still in force, so their delusions must be produced within Inazuma's borders.
Was heißt denn so gefährlich? Als wenn ich das nicht schon vorher gemacht habe. Ich gehe da einfach hin und sage, ey, der Schalde, der ist mein Freund, bitte lassen Sie das.
To organize an operation of this scale, they will have had to mobilize a huge amount of manpower and resources. They can't have done it without local support.
Ich meine, die waren am Hochofen zugange, ne?
If we want to stop them, we have to destroy the factory where the delusions are made. But it's sure to be heavily guarded. It's dangerous to go alone. At least take some troops with you.
Na, keine Zeit. Ich mach das alleine.
Your Excellency, given the urgency of the situation, we were hardly discreet when confiscating the delusions. The Fatui are sure to take notice.
Ich würde gern Gorou mitnehmen als Beschützung. Darf ich das? Darf ich ihn mitnehmen?
If we spend any longer amassing our forces, they will get wind of our plans and make their escape.
Very true. Let me think. I gave this some thought while you were confiscating the delusions. The side of the factory must be big and secluded, but close enough to a transport route to ensure the supply of raw materials. Not many places meet these criteria. And if we take the locations where our soldiers receive their delusions into account as well, I suspect the site is likely to be the cliffs, near the ocean at the southwest of Yashiori Island. I'm not going to stop you, but please, be careful.
Du kannst mich auch gar nicht aufhalten. Was willst du tun? Ein bisschen Wasser fliegen lassen? Ein paar Blubbelbläschen? Na.
We have lost too many courageous fighters already. I don't want to lose you too.
Jo. Also, mein Dude ist ready. Der hat richtig Bock.
You mean to the delusion factory?
Ja, Paimon, auf geht's.
You aren't gonna think it over first?
Nein, auf geht's.
Fine.
So, wo versteckt ihr euch? Da ist eine Schlucht. Auch wenn mein Razor deutlich mehr Schaden macht als mein Traveler. Der Traveler muss dabei sein. Okay. Okay. Siehst du? Moin, ich klaue euch kurz das. Ne, die kann ich nicht einsammeln. Gut. Nein, nicht nach unten. Ich wollte nach oben.
So, is this what delusions are made from? So much crystal marrow. Now, where have we seen that before? Wait a second. Are they getting this from Rito? So the Kanji Commission are...
Also die Kanji-Verwaltung hat da bestimmt sehr viel mit zu tun, ja. Also sehr wahrscheinlich arbeiten die sogar zusammen. Hofleiter. Die Situation des Bürgerkriegs in Inazuma ist derzeit ungewiss. Je länger sich der Krieg hinzieht, desto vorteilhafter wird uns die Situation sein. Um die Abhängigkeit der Widerstandskämpfer von teuflischen Augen zu vertiefen, müssen die Flammen des Krieges weiterhin geschürt und die Kampfwillen der Führung auf beiden Seiten weiter verstärkt werden. Ich rufe alle verfügbaren Kameraden auf, die Arbeit von dem zweiten Maria-Leutnant Nathan zu unterstützen, um Sangonomiyas Plan auf einen schnellen Sieg zu vereiteln. Falls es schief läuft, tut alles Erdenkliche, um Nathan bei seinem Rückzug zu unterstützen. Bringt alle zu schweigen, die Informationen über uns und die Fatui nach außen dringen könnten. Diese Mission ist von entscheidender Bedeutung für die Sicherung unserer Versorgung mit teuflischen Augen. Kein einziges Detail darf übersehen werden. Okay. Und weiter geht's. Wer versteckt sich hinter dieser netten Tür? Absolut gar nichts. Gut. Aber das sieht nicht gut aus, was hier unten ist. Kann ich das hier anmachen? Ne, hier sind mehr Augen. Ich kann hier hochrennen. Achso, hier drin sterbe ich gar nicht. Gut.
This idiot must have a death wish. Don't be intimidated. Lord Harbinger will be here soon.
Ah! Einer der elf Harbinger wird bald da sein. I don't like this. Natascha heißt sie. Oh, nice.
Rain outlines your fate.
You actually managed to find this place. Congratulations.
Ooh, Scaramouche.
Barely 2 words in. And you already look like you want me dead.
Also ihr stellt die teuflischen Augen her, ja?
Oh, so that's what this is about. I think you've got the wrong idea. I know how this looks, but I'm just here to follow orders. I'm obviously not the mastermind behind this. Aren't you supposed to be pretty tough? What are you waiting for? Go get them. You're getting all worked up over nothing. You've changed. You're getting weak.
Ich werde schwach? What?
How can you say this is nothing?
How can you call it anything more? It's the way of the world. Human life is worthless. They were always going to die, with or without a delusion. At least having one gives them a chance to fulfill their ambitions. Do you have any idea how useful the Vision Hunt decree is to us? It took a lot of work to make it happen. Obviously, it was in our best interests. Good news is, our hard work is finally paying off. Generating conflict creates a big market for delusions. Now we just let the promise of power draw in the weak. For just a small price, they get the feeling of controlling the world. Trading their life for supreme power. Pretty good deal.
Also wenn ich das richtig verstehe, wollen sie die Augen quasi einsammeln, damit sie ihre Fake-Augen verkaufen können?
So, the Fatui started the Vision Hunt decree? You've been behind it all along?
From the outside, Inazuma looks pretty impenetrable. But on the inside, it's a land of opportunity. With a little effort, we were able to break them down from within. Eternity stretches things out over a long time, but each moment within it becomes all the more fragile. Take your friend in the Resistance, for example. There's nothing you can do now. He's a lost cause, just like a bubble on the water. Beautiful for a moment, then total destruction. The more it takes from them, the more tightly they hold on to it. And the more incompetent they are, the more determined they are to fight it. It's such a farce.
Na,
You have to see the funny side.
Teppei ist nicht inkompetent.
Hey, calm down!
Scaramouche. Du kriegst aufs Maul. Oh.
That's it. Just like that. Embrace the anger. Embrace it! The wrath of the gods fills his factory, and it feeds on your anger.
What's happening? Get up!
Ah, du bist es.
Repeat after me. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. Come on.
Miko.
Oh, you recognize me right away. Your brain seems relatively unscathed. This is good news. It's just as well, really, with the amount of effort it took me to get you back here. Honestly, it was like you were glued to the ground back there.
Nico? Paimon's been wanting to ask you about something. How come you're acting so differently from when we first met you?
Am I? Maybe it's because I had the other Shrine Maidens leave. Anyway, I've always been like this. People show you whatever side of themselves they want you to see. I know this for a fact. Every side of me is the real me. People just like to define things in all sorts of arbitrary ways.
Okay, gut, ja, aber die hat so einen Anhänger wie der Scaramouche auch.
This is a human society. At the moment, anyway. And I'm just doing as I please.
Paimon didn't quite follow.
Study humans a while longer, my little friend. You'll see what I mean.
Warum hast du mich denn gerettet von Scaramouche?
Right! Paimon was so focused on the Traveler that Paimon didn't notice what you did to get Scaramouche off our backs.
What if I told you it was a secret art from the Grand Narukami Shrine, and that I had the balladeer down on his knees, begging for mercy in an instant?
Glaube ich dir nicht.
Would you... Well, maybe you should be worrying less about that, and more about how exactly you're going to thank me, no? Maybe some of your neural circuitry is less intact than I thought.
Danke, Miko.
I didn't mean you had to be so formal about it. I need your actions, not your words. The delusions. They're still on your mind, aren't they?
Was ist denn danach passiert? Huh?
You needn't worry. The leader of Watatsumi Island took some troops to clear the place out. She's also issued a strict ban on the use of delusions across the whole army. With their stronghold exposed, I doubt the balladeer is stubborn enough to try and retaliate now on his colleagues' behalf. It would be more trouble than it's worth. I must say, I would relish the opportunity to watch the Fatui getting a taste of their own medicine.
Ich weiß doch nicht, auf welcher Seite du stehst, um ehrlich zu sein.
Well, anyway, that Sangonomiya Kokomi, she really outdid herself this time. I'd love to have another chat with her again in person. But alas, belief systems can be such a hindrance sometimes.
A hindrance? Should you really be saying that as the Gucci of the Grand Shrine?
Anyway, I'm only telling you this to stop you worrying so that you can focus on something I need you to do for me.
Also hast du mich nur gerettet, damit ich Shit für dich mache. Got it.
You've met her, right?
Den Shogun Raiden, ja.
I'm not talking about the puppet. I mean her. You've met her, yes?
Ich weiß gerade nicht, was du meinst.
Yes, the true Raiden Shogun, who meditates endlessly in the plane of Euthymia to preserve her being. Her name is A.
Are you saying that the one we met at the ceremony was just a puppet? And the real Raiden Shogun is the one that the Traveler met later? And does that mean that when the battlefield changed, so did the opponent?
Ja, aber warum macht sie sich so eine Mühe dafür?
Because this is the Raiden Shogun's eternity. Before pursuing the eternity of her nation, she had to reach eternity for herself. Since the physical body will eventually turn to dust, she replaced hers with that of a puppet. And since the spirit is susceptible to erosion, she placed her consciousness inside her sword, where she remains in a meditative state, free from all disturbances.
So, that place that she carved open with her sword...
The plane of Euthymia. Essentially, the world inside her mind. A place that typically only allows her existence.
Okay, so langsam verstehe ich's.
She shuts herself off in her inner world, leaving all the affairs of the outside world to be dealt with by a puppet, who has a singular focus on the pursuit of eternity. This is the approach A has come up with for realizing eternity.
Ja, John Lee sprach auch von Erosionen.
You mean Morax? It's been a while since I last saw him. A surprising decision by Liyue's Archon. What a fascinating god he is.
It seems like the Raiden Shogun's approach solves the problem Zhang Li was facing, though.
Ja, so ein bisschen.
Perhaps. Or you could take the view that she's acting like a little child, throwing a temper tantrum and locking herself in her room, don't you think? The grand notion of eternity she once held has long since given way to the eternity of her own definition. And ultimately, her eternity is defined by fear. The fear of loss.
Okay, nette Unterhaltung. Was soll ich machen?
The truth is, we are on the same side.
Glaube ich nicht.
You want to save the people of Inazuma from the Vision Hunt decree. So do I. The only difference is that I'd rather like to save this nation and save A while we're at it. The key is that the plane of Euthymia represents A's inner world. Defeat her there, and you may well have the chance to shake the Raiden Shogun's will.
So this is your plan? To abolish the Vision Hunt decree?
Ziemlich lamer Plan. Töte den Shogun Raiden. Aber gut.
Not by talking her out of it, or through an armed resistance, but by, hopping inside the Raiden Shogun's inner world?
You're a fast learner. In short, this is the last chance to get Inazuma back on track. Otherwise, an eternity of darkness awaits.
Ja, aber warum?
Don't you realize how special you are? Remember, the plane of Euthymia is a space where only she is allowed to exist. The fact that you could appear there tells us one crucial thing. That you have piqued her interest. Perhaps it's because she has never seen an individual who is so unpredictable in the face of eternity.
Has no one else ever been in there?
None. No one has seen the devotee of eternity since she shut herself away. In fact, no one even knows what it looks like in there.
Oh. Also ihr komisches Gedankenschloss, da darf sonst niemand rein. Aber irgendwie war ich da ja drin beim letzten Kampf. Interesting.
Your existence is more than just an opportunity. It's the very key to all of this. To that I say, well done, child. You did not disappoint me after all.
Wait, you're leaving? Where are you going?
Anti-Raiden Shogun training. I've prepared a special program just for you.
Ah, das Anti-Shogun Raiden Spezialtraining, natürlich.